So we're back on the brakes. I finally got my brake caliper. It's not ideal. Honestly, I wish I would have kept the go-kart one. But with it right there, it's actually facing the wrong direction. That bleeder valve should be the opposite way. Mostly all the pads are working. But I'm going to have to cut this all down to make clearance for the bolts to spin. And then I think I can just weld an L bracket off to here. Weld that kind of permanent. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do. It can be welded permanent because if I needed to take the caliper off, that bracket stays anyways. I don't know. I'm going to play with it a little bit and come back to you guys. So I got a box in the mail today. It's going to be my new gas tank. And what it actually is it's a catch can. It's all aluminum. It's a nice thread. There's actually a hole through it. So a little vent. And I'm going to use this as my gas tank. I originally had this one off the go-kart, but it's big, and I got no place to put it. I built this thing way too small. So my plan is to mount it somewhere in here, right on the motor. And I don't like how this fitting is right here because of how high up it is. I'm losing that much fuel, so I'm going to drill and tap a fitting, and I'm just going to cap this one off. Should work. With the mower up on the table, originally in the box it came with a big hose clamp, this cheap aluminum L bracket, and then this bracket that's got a bend on this end, but it's quite square on this side, so I mean, it doesn't fit at all. So I'm going to kind of keep the same idea. I'm just going to strap it like that. I've already drilled some holes right here. I'll put some weather stripping or something there to protect it. And I'm just going to clamp it for now and see how it does and see if I like it. I'm also going to pull this fitting out that's got this little on-off valve. Just unscrews, and I'm going to drill a hole in here, tap it, and install it there. I've already capped off the original one. Alright, with the gas tank all mounted up, I used that hose clamp. I actually used a little piece of an inner tube, and then the original fitting, which is right there, is resting up against the motor with the plugs, so that gives it a little bit of support. Like I said, I'm only going to run this thing in the pit, so I'm not real worried about it. There's right there's the fuel on and off. Got the hose ran up. Got it zip tied down, secured, so it's nice and secure now. So now there's a few things that I didn't put in the videos that I do want to talk about. First being the rear brakes. So I ended up using a 400EX brake caliper, like I said. How I mounted it is I modified and made a new bracket. I just put a tube on the chassis, spaced it out where I wanted it, and welded it on. And I didn't film any of it because I had a hard time with it. Just didn't want to go right, and the issue is, you see where that bolt is right there? Let me see if I can get the light a little better. That bolt right there. That bolt hit the bracket. So I had to drill these out, get some countersink bolts to put into it. Originally it had these here. So I had to replace all three of them bolts so I could get just a little bit of clearance in there. that I needed. Once that was figured out and done, everything else went pretty smoothly. I had to put, of course, a keyway in here. Actually had to, you can't see it from here. Yeah, I guess you can. I had to extend my keyway a little bit. So I just used a brand new cutoff wheel and some very, very slow, precise work and continued that keyway out, and it worked out good. And then on the other side for my sprocket, that keyway was good to go, so I didn't have to modify that. Then of course in the hubs they've got keyways both sides and they're clamped. And then I've got the rear width exactly the same as the front width. So it should work out pretty well. As for the throttle, I made this bracket and they actually sell them. And all it is the cable goes in, it locks in right here, and then a little piece of wire or whatever. I'm using my spring. They sell them, and I had one off the go-kart, but I lost it. And then on the go-kart bracket, they originally come with these fittings, which is just a pipe thread, and I actually have it right here. This one's from Home Depot. It's 1/4 inch OD to 1/8 inch pipe thread. And then you just clamp it down with the crimp fitting like it is. And that gives you a perfect fitting. Let's see if I can get both. Should work out pretty good. I'm not getting 100% full throttle. See, I'm only getting about 3/4 throttle. And I could easily just move this in just a hole or two and get every throttle bit that I want, but I'm not looking for top speed, and probably my 9-year-old kid will be out here ripping around on it too, so I'm just not worried about it. As you see, I did had to wrap it. Not that it's near my leg, because I have the motor pushed way far forward. Also, I put the new chain on it. It's something I bought off Amazon. Here's the extra. I don't run a master link on it. I use these chain brakes right here. And what it is it presses a pin out, and then you take out the section you don't want, and then you use that same pin you pressed out and you press it back in. So you don't need a master link. I've had very good luck with these in the past, and I'm going to continue to try to have good luck with them now. So now really the only thing to do is to see if it actually fires up and runs. So I'm going to get it back on the tripod and check right back with you. I'm not 100% sure what's done to this motor because I've never had it open. But I do know it likes to kick back once in a while, so I'm sure it's got a little timing key in it. So bring up the top dead center, hit the choke on, give it just a little bit of throttle. Seems to be running really good. It's a lot louder than I wanted it to be. I thought that muffler would be nice and quiet, but it's not. It's pretty much straight through, and she's pretty noisy. So next video you'll see is somebody out riding this. Probably not me, but I got some buddies that like to do silly things. Till the next video, guys.